Hey Canucks fans, the Vancouver Canucks have extended qualifying offers to 7 of their 12 restricted free agents, therefore retaining the rights to negotiate with them. And this, like every other team, they had to do it today, league mandated deadline ahead of free agency opening this Wednesday. So let's kind of break it down. I talked about it a little bit in my vlog from earlier today. Let's talk about what a qualifying offer is, why it's important, and what it actually does for you and the player. So any player that's on a contract as a restricted free agent, a contract that's ending, they have to be extended a qualifying offer by their club. Again, this is for RFAs, not UFAs. UFAs, you just go and sign with whoever you want, including the team that you just played for. But for RFAs and those that are going to continue to be RFAs, you need to be extended a qualifying offer from your team. It's a 1-year contract offer, and it's based on certain formulas. For players that have signed older contracts signed before last summer, it's a percentage, 100 to 110% of your last year of your contract of that salary. So for instance, Brock Besser at the end of next season, we're gonna have to do a qualifying offer of at least $7.5 million. Now for new contracts signed after last summer's new memorandum of understanding, it's actually 120% of the AAV of the length of the contract. But let's not get into the semantics right now. Basically, you have to offer at least 100% of the last year of the contract, and that becomes the qualifying offer for 1 year. If you do not offer them a contract, the RFA contract, they become an unrestricted free agent and they can sign with any team, including the same team, starting on Wednesday. So just because you're not offered a qualifying offer doesn't mean you can't re-sign with that same team. I think that's what happened with Adam Gaudette actually in Chicago. He wasn't qualified, but then he agreed to a new 1-year contract. But let's get back to the Canucks. What's important is that by offering that qualifying offer, by extending that qualifying offer, you then, as an RFA, you get to have exclusive negotiating rights with that player. Some are arbitration eligible, meaning they can actually take the team to arbitration if they want. Others are offer sheet eligible, like Elias Pettersson, which we hope doesn't happen, although Jim Benning says he would match any offer sheet made to Elias Pettersson. So there's all these kind of like intricacies and other considerations, but let's just kind of go bare bones, do it from a general standpoint. The point of extending the RFA, the qualifying offer to an RFA, is to retain negotiating rights with them. So for the and by the way, I should say that players can accept the qualifying offer if they want to, that 1-year contract, but most players usually reject such a strong word, but most players don't accept it because they're going to negotiate a new contract. Like I said, in the Gaudette situation, well, technically he didn't even have a qualifying offer, or what you're going to see with Pettersson and Hughes, where they're going to get brand new contracts as opposed to a qualifying offer. Because there's no way Petey's going to sign for 1 year for $1 million. There's no way that Quinn Hughes is going to sign for 1 year for $1 million. We're expecting those to be $7.5 and $6.5 million in that range. But you still have to go through the formality of extending them a qualifying offer. And if you forget to do that, or if you don't want to do that, then for whatever reason, if you don't want to do that, they'll become unrestricted free agents. So let's go with the 7 players that the Canucks did extend qualifying offers to. Maybe 6, not surprised, 1 surprise for sure. So Elias Pettersson, of course, and Quinn Hughes. We've been talking about these guys for the past few months, well, the last few years, but we know they're negotiating new deals right now. So the fact, if you hear in the media that they reject their qualifying offers, do not freak out. It doesn't mean they're leaving to another team. It's simply, we know that they're going to get better contracts than $1 million a piece for 1 year. Also, our 2 newest acquisitions, 2 of them I should say, the 2 forwards, Conor Garland coming over here with Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and Jason Dickinson coming over here from Dallas a week and a half ago. Those 2 guys are restricted free agents, RFAs, so they too were extended qualifying offers, but those 2 guys as well will get bigger contracts. We just don't know for how long and for how much. So those are the big 4, Pettersson, Hughes, Garland, and Dickinson. 3 other players that were extended qualifying offers, 2 defensemen. One of them is Olli Juolevi. He now just finished his entry-level contract. Still not sure if he's going to become the 3rd pairing D-man or if he's the 7th man, the extra skater, so to speak. But I'm sure the Canucks will likely agree on a 1 or 2 year deal with him to make sure that he's still the player that they hoped he was when they drafted him back in 2016. So Olli Juolevi gets a qualifying offer, as does defenseman Guillaume Brisebois. played a lot in Utica last year before that season got shut down, then got loaned to another team. But he still seems to be in the Canucks' plans, at least as a depth defenseman, either on the roster or in Abbotsford. So Guillaume Brisebois also extended a qualifying offer. And then the seventh player is forward Lukas Jasek. Remember, we drafted this guy a long time ago, I think it was 2015, 2016. He's only 23 years old. No, that seems a little young. No, he's 23 years old. So maybe we drafted him back in 16 or 17 now that I think about it. And he's actually played 3 or 4 seasons in Utica. There's one player where he hasn't cracked the big lineup yet. He's 23 years old, so he's getting up there. But the Canucks still deemed it appropriate to qualify him. So maybe there's hope for him. Maybe they want him as depth, pushing for a spot, or likely starting the season in Abbotsford. So Lukas Jasek also receiving a qualifying offer. So there we go. There are the 7. Elias Pettersson, Quinn Hughes, Conor Garland, Jason Dickinson, Guillaume Brisebois, Olli Juolevi, and who's the last guy I just said? Oh, and Lukas Jasek. That means there are 5 guys that were not extended qualifying offers by the Vancouver Canucks. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't rejoin the team, but if they do, they will do so as unrestricted free agents, so they can sign with any team, including the Vancouver Canucks. The most noticeable name on there, I guess there's 2. One is Jayce Hawryluk, came over here in a trade from Ottawa, played 30 games this season, showed decent work ethic, decent skill, but really didn't move the needle much. So Jayce Hawryluk was not extended an offer. Neither was forward Marc Michaelis, a speedy guy, played a bit in Germany, played center. We were hoping for a depth role for him, but really didn't move the needle much when he was with the team this season as well. Jake Kiley, goaltender, played in Kalamazoo 2 years ago, only 7 games with Utica. I simply don't think he's in the Canucks' plans once you get past Demko and Holtby for now, then DiPietro, then there's Archer Seelovs as well. So Jake Kiley becomes expendable that way. So he was not extended a qualifying offer. Defenseman Mitch Eliot played a lot in Utica, but the mid-20s, likely not going to crack this lineup anytime soon. So he was also let go. And lastly, Petrus Palmu. A lot of people remember him and drafted, I think, in 2016, 2017. Very small, but very hardworking, skilled forward. Basically played in Finland for the past few seasons. Never figured to be in the Canucks' plan. So remember, these guys, by not even being qualified, they're free agents, unrestricted free agents. That means the Canucks didn't even have plans for Abbotsford either. So Petrus Palmu also not qualified. So those are the 5 guys that were not offered qualifying offers by the Vancouver Canucks. Again, Jake Kiley in goal, Mitch Eliot on D, and then forwards, just had a brain fart, Jayce Hawryluk, Marc Michaelis, and Petrus Palmu. So I don't think there's any surprises there. The Lukas Jasek one was the one that surprised me a little bit, just because kind of being out of sight, out of mind. I forgot about him, but obviously the Canucks still want to bring him, keep him for depth. And otherwise, the big 4, Pettersson, Hughes, Garland, and Dickinson, hopefully we'll hear positive news about their contract status in the next little while. And then Olli Juolevi, no surprise there, and Guillaume Brisebois. So Canucks fans, I've kind of gone through all 12 guys, the 7 that got qualified, the 5 that didn't. Leave a comment below. Tell me if there's any surprises for you. Are you worried that Pettersson's going to get offer sheeted? Are you surprised of the guys that we did let go, that we didn't extend any of them offers? Leave a comment below. I would love to know your reaction to any of those guys. Hope that all makes sense. I did that all from memory, including some of their stats and draft years, which I probably got wrong, but I think you got the gist of what I was going after. Qualifying offers, RFAs, 1-year contracts, and those players are free to reject them and negotiate a new one or accept them. But we know that most of them indeed don't accept them. Rather, they go for bigger contracts, especially the bigger name guys. Anyways, leave a comment below. Love to read, react, and reply. As always, subscribe if you like to, like this video if you like to, become a member of this channel if you'd like to. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And shout out to my Hall of Fame members, Jens95, Sim Alexander, Just Incredible, Nucks fan number 29, who's celebrating a birthday today, Lucas Gates, Chris Seifert, Adam Broomfield, Shea Family Channel, Jamie Sports Talk and more, Shannon Hollingworth, and Andrew Chang. Thanks for your support as always, and thanks to the support of all members of all levels. You're listed in my video descriptions. If you want to become a member of the CCC crew, press the join button underneath this under my videos or the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. Now I know why I do all these vlogs in my car. I've been holding this tripod for the past few minutes, and I think my arm's about to fall off. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.